Good morning, this is Andrew from My Investor's Place. My Investor's Place is a social network site in which you can network, meet people. We're in beta. I'm the administrator. That's why I'm making this video early in the morning before work. I'm not making the greatest videos. Some of them are getting a little bit shorter, but trying my best. What I want to talk about is about following in the footsteps of an economic depression. And history is always a lesson. We should learn from it. And there's always cycles. There's bursts and bubbles and all that kind of good stuff. But really what we're going through is the stupor or the drunken stupor from cheap money. And what I want to say is it's just how the volatility is so tremendous, where you had price of oil going almost 25% a single morning, gold up 23% in 8 days, stock market or NASDAQ up 100 points and down another 94 points. In the 1980s, Japan was in wash with a real estate bubble and a stock market bubble. And the stock market in 1989 in Japan was at 39,000. Today it's about 12,000. There's a generation that's been lost. 2 decades have gone by, and really there's no end in sight to this economic debacle. And the whole point of this video is, what can we do not make the same mistakes Japan as they did? And what happened was when the market crashed in Japan, they had trillions of yen in bad loans on their books. And they tried all different types of bailouts, and really to no avail. And you have to put this into context, that Japan is the second largest economy in the world. And they procrastinated in writing down bad loans. And when they procrastinated, it ended up costing them more money. All these different bailouts they tried, government bailouts, really didn't work. And what happened with Japan, their GDP went down to about 1.5% per year for about 10 years. So really, they went through a terrible, terrible situation. And really what I'm hoping, God willing, that the United States wakes up and that we don't go through this situation. We're kind of following the same thing that they're doing. You have the Fed trying to bail out or attempting to bail out the banks. And that, the question is that right? I don't really have the right answer. I just have my opinion, which opinions really don't mean that much. And that's why I made My Investor's Place, that you can pose your questions or pose your thoughts on a blog or a question and join us. And the other question I have is that the U.S. is really acting quickly. Can the U.S. avoid Japan's depression? And really, that was a depression for almost 20 years. I pray that the U.S. can. But what I do think is that the only way to wring out these excesses of this bubble that we're going through is let the market forces come into play, and the banks that weren't prudent, that made these terrible loans, let them fail. And it sounds harsh, but in times like this, harsh measures might be the only answer if we look at history. I don't want to go through 20 years of a stock market that goes nowhere, only down. I believe you're the same way. This is Andrew Abraham from My Investor's Place. Please come and join us. You can post your blog, get some exposure, ask some questions. Thank you.